So we're going to continue doing some work on the Aprilia RSV4 here. So in this video, I'm going to be working on, I got a new taillight with integrated turn signals from JL Designs. So it's a smoked taillight, and I probably should have opened this ahead of time instead of making a bunch of rapping noises on the camera, but this is what it'll come like. So so you can see the red taillight here. We're going to replace it with this dark smoked one, and it has the turn signals inside. So that's going to be really cool. So now I did in a previous video that I just did it recently. I've only ridden it like twice since then. I just put in the new Rage fender eliminator kit, which has the license plate frame, but it has the built-in turn signals. So they're in the process of building one of the let's see, I can't see what there we go. I can't see what I was doing, so I was just making sure that you could actually see on camera. So JL is actually working on a license plate frame mount with the license plate light and all that stuff, but as of right now they don't have one. So what I'm going to end up doing, I talked to another Aprilia rider that has pretty much is running the same system, and that's where I found this. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to take this back off, and what I'm going to do is cut the turn signals off of it so that I'm just using this bracket to hold my license plate, but I'm going to get rid of the turn signals because I won't need them, because the turn signals are going to be up in here. So it'll clean it up even more. It'll get rid of these. You can't really see that. I guess I can turn the camera when I'm editing. I forgot it's a 360. But anyway, so yeah, so I'll be able to get rid of these. As you can tell, I'm still new to this, so like bear with me with my moving the camera around and not knowing what the hell I'm doing. So, but yeah, so I'm going to be removing these, but I need to take this bracket back off so I can figure out what I need to do to cut those off. But first I'm going to get in and replace this. So I'll take that off and replace this, and then we'll go from there. I got to make some room in my garage. I bought a cart for my tools so I could just take them everywhere with me, but now I got so many damn bikes and junk in here that I can't move my cart around. So anyway, so right now I'm using a chair. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the seat. So let's pull you guys up here so you can see better. So the first thing we're going to do is remove the cowling, and then the seat has 2 bolts back here, and then I'll walk you through it as we go along. What's up, dog? So yeah, so I'm gonna start by removing the cowling and then the seat, and then I'll point out some of the other bolts and stuff that we have to like clear off as we go through. I think I'm just gonna let the camera run, and then I'll just make cuts here and there. That way I'm still trying to learn how to do all this stuff, so I'm trying to figure out, like, because I've done some other videos where I do some projects, and then like I go to edit, and I either don't have enough, and like usually I ended up just like chopping in between stuff, but then I don't end up having some of the footage that I do want. So I think I'm just gonna run it long form and go from there. So I'll figure it out in editing and we'll go from there. So got that off, and I believe they are, I want to say they're number 4. They're either 4 or 5. Let me, what is that? That's already the 4. There's one on there. It's almost like I do this. So I believe they're a 4. They are. So we'll pull these out. Let's see here. I guess the best way to explain this. Ciao, puppy. So the best way to explain this is, so we took the 2 bolts out. Those go in right there. Got the seat off. So what we need to do is loosen these up. We're not going to take them completely off, but we're going to loosen it up by taking out these two. We'll take this off, which will pop this little socket out. And then there's some more bolts that I can show you once we get in there. And that'll get us in. We'll unhook the new rage and pull that out. And then we should be ready to start taking the original fender off. I believe that is also a 4, but we will find out. It might be a 3. Nope, it's a 4. So we're going to pull that off. And underneath it is a little washer, so just don't lose that when you're pulling it out. I usually either leave the bolts in something, or I have a little magnetic tray, which is what I'm going to do with this one, because this is a small piece. If it's like the bolts for the seat, I left them in there because the seat's pretty big. But like this is little, it can get bumped and knocked, so I usually throw these bolts in a small magnetic tray. So we'll put that over there. Alright, so now we're going to move on to these. Same thing. 4mm. One there. One here. And one here. Now, if you were doing just the like the new rage, I did a video on that, so I guess I don't really need to explain it. You don't have to take all this stuff out, which I did the first time because I didn't know. So I've already taken all these out before, even though I didn't need to. But on this one, since we're actually replacing the taillight, we actually have to take all of them out. Then I believe we have to take these 2 out. Because then there's some side bolts that we need to take out to be able to get to the taillight bolts. I don't think I took that out before, but that wasn't even in there. Neither was that. That was like hand tight. Yeah, I don't think those are ones I messed with before. They are also attached to the taillight, so I guess that at some point they had to come out anyway. Alright, so let's see here. I think we're going to have, there's a couple of bolts on the bottom that you're able to take out. Get my light so you can see what I'm doing. Handy dandy shop light here. So yeah, I believe there is a bolt there and a bolt here that have to come out. Yeah, I believe that holds this side piece in. So this isn't the same. So yeah, we'll take those out and go from there. Come on. Oh, no, this side. it's open back. Where it really helps to be organized, and sometimes I'm not the best at being organized. As you can tell by my messy ass garage, but it's not perfect. Never mind. The other one came right out. Okay. There we go. Now it dropped out. Okay. Let's see here. I think I need to take this one off. Because we're gonna have to like get these to pop loose. This, there's a bolt here and there's a bolt here for that. I think I need to take this one off too because it's folded. But I think before I do that, I'm going to, these are all the wires I put in here last time from installing the new Rage kit, which we're going to need some of the wires, but not all of them. So I'm going to have to disconnect those. No, it's this one. Alright. So we need to disconnect that. I have to cut that loose zip ties off so I can get this stuff. One thing good about a hoodie, you can just throw your tools in your pouch in the front. So this is your tail light or turn signal wiring here. So it's just got a little tab on it. You just got to push it down and then it should pop out. There we go. And then this is your actual so this is the tail, this is the license plate light, and it goes into here. So I'm gonna have to figure that out, how that works with the other tail light. So I'll figure that out when I get it out of here. Pretty sure that is the tail light harness. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop it loose because I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And it goes around that way. I believe I'm gonna have to take these off, this bracket off too. So that goes, feels like it's all going into the tail light. Can't talk. So let's see, is that the same size? It's smaller, so that must be it. That must be a 3. It's okay. Just coyotes. Yeah. Shh, Carter. It's just coyotes. It's just coyotes, bud. It's okay. Alright, so this has a screw and then it has a little like grommet or a spacer that goes inside the grommet. Yeah, you telling them? You letting them know it's your yard? So sometimes he hangs out here with me, but a lot of times he times out after a little bit and wants to go back inside. So we'll see how long it lasts tonight. All right, so I guess for now we will go ahead and disconnect this because that's all going to have to come back out when I take that down. Not looking forward to taking that out. That was kind of a pain in the butt. So yeah, that was weird. Like when I originally put this in, they gave me the wrong length bolt on one of the ones that holds this bracket on. So luckily I found one in my stash of stuff, and it was it was from one of my quad lock, because I was by the anti-theft ones, and so I luckily had that, and it worked. So it's right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and loosen that up. And it's got the anti-theft. So like this is the only Allen wrench that'll work on it. So I guess I'll have to remember that if I ever sell it. Somebody get ready to take something off and they'll be like, what in the hell's going on here? I'm sure they're not going to think, oh, it's a quad lock anti-theft nut or screw or whatever. So yeah, so that's it. Let's see here, and then the other ones, oh yeah, that's right. The other ones are underneath here, underneath the bracket. So I'm going to have to take those out. So I think those are the fives. Or fives or fours. Fours. Nope, those are fives. I knew I had that 5 out for a reason somewhere. What's up, buddy? You got your security hoodie on? Keeping track of stuff for me? Let's see. Oh, yeah, all right. This wire coming in on the side, the tail light, license plate light, is this one up here that has these two little things. So I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna go about doing that. That is that must be 3 as well. 3, and then I know I have to use a 10 mil on the bolts inside there. So that's 3. Let's do it this way. Let's put 3 beyond the big one. And then this one is going with the extension that I'm going to need to use down in there. 10 mil socket. Yeah, so you have a 3 mil Allen or a hex nut there, or a hex bolt, and then there's a 10 mil socket on the inside. So you have to hold it, and you need to use an extension because it's down inside. So, no, it's not a. That's right, it's not a. Must have been the 8 mil. I think I know since I just did this like a week ago. So. Yeah, it was weird. It's like these bolts are like super long compared to what you need them. And then the one that on the top part of the triangle was like freaking way too small. So I just used my Allen to scoop it up. There's also a little plastic washer, but I'll get that out later. Last time I used it, I had to use a pick to get it down in there. So. It's cold for California today, but sure most people, it's like, I think it's supposed to get down to like 46. I think it's still like probably around 50 or so now, which I know to a lot of people it isn't cold, but I acclimated to California weather, so 50 is now cold to me. Oop, and I dropped that. Well, that worked out perfect. I dropped my nut and I just dropped this. So, feed these down and out just to get it out of the way for now. And we'll have to figure out what we're going to do with that. So technically it's two pieces. You got the tail light piece there that is also part of the mounting bracket, and then you got the license plate frame with the license plate light. So what I'm gonna do, I believe, is just cut these across. So I'm gonna still use this like basically a triangle piece. Set that off to the side for now. Off to the side, because we still want this to, which we'll get. That'll mean we'll be getting rid of these wires completely, and all we'll need is this part. All right, so that's going to take some research there. So yeah, basically just going to cut like right across there. So, all right, let's go ahead and get the rest of the tail light taken out, and then we'll go from there. I gotta figure out how I get these out of the way. I don't want to break something, because I need to get to those. I think those are the last two bolts that are holding anything in back here. Because I got, let's see, that's out. You know what? I'm gonna fish that bolt out before I end up dropping it further down in the fight. And then washer. I just use a little 90-degree pick. That way I could just, once you get it in there, you just flip it. And it'll be hooked on and you can just lift it out. So yeah, both little plastic washers in the nut. Alright, I'm going to take a little break there because I need to look up, figure out how make sure I'm not missing a bolt somewhere or something that I'm supposed to be doing to get this to like let loose so I can move these out to the side. Alright, I'm back. So the next step in the process is we have to take this this side cover off here. So I guess there's a I think these are T4s. So I'm gonna take one out here. Leave that one in since it's easy to get to, so I'll probably take that one out last. Is that better? Okay, it's got some little clips that you should have pushed back, so luckily I didn't break them. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side because there's this other bolt right here we need to get to. That because normally you would have to take the tank off because I believe on these go underneath a mount under the tank. So all we're gonna try to do is loosen this up so that we can pull it out just far enough to get in there to those bolts. All right, so I took that little screw out there. Sorry, I forgot to turn the camera icon. And then it has a couple more little clips. Be careful with them though, because technically it wants you to slide them back this way, but since it's not completely off on this end, you're kind of having to like try to bend it a little bit to pull it out. But now we have access to here with no problem, and we'll be able to take those off. So I haven't opened the other side yet, so we'll see if my little, so you want to kind of pull back. Yeah, see, so if you pull back and then out a little bit, it'll make it a lot better. So I think those look like 3s, but I'll double check. Yeah, those are 3s. I had to buy a whole bunch of new tools because these are all, everything on these bikes are all metric, and pretty much I have older Harleys, so almost everything on my older Harleys are like Imperial, I guess is what it's called, standard, whatever. So once you take that out, there's a little like washer thing. I'll show you what it looks like. Yeah. That's inside because this is a rubber grommet, so you want to make sure you get that when you're pulling it out. Lift it up. Spinning my wrench on my paint job. Stuck to this. Oh shit. It did. That did suck. I gotta go fishing. Alright. It's not magnetic, so we're going to keep it on the side. Alright. Well, I'm not gonna make you guys watch this. I'm gonna have to fish a bolt out of there. So I'm gonna pause for now, and yeah, I'll pick it up in a minute when I get this bolt out. All right, crisis averted. So I used a I used a long screwdriver to slide it over and flip it up where it's pointing up, and then I used a long set of needle nose to reach down in there, and I plucked it out. So got it out. So we got both of those off. Now this just slides out. Looks like I got a zip tie that I gotta cut there. Drink my coffee. So there we go. There's your stock taillight assembly out. All right, so let's see here. While I still have all this out, I'm still trying to figure out, I think I'm gonna have to, because this is, so this is where my tail light, or my tail light's gonna plug in. Then I think this is the turn signals, and this is the turn signals, and the license plate light is these four. So, but the way this is, so this is the tail light, and then this is the turn signals. But then I got this for the license plate light. So what I'm gonna do, I think what I'm gonna try to do is see if I can figure out how to put these wires all into that plug, this white plug that everything else was in. Where is it? Because on this one, it's already got the white plug. So if I can replace those four wires with the two from this and the two from this, then I can just plug it directly into there. Okay, so quick update. One thing helps to look through the entire box. So I was looking through the box with the taillight, and it comes with a pigtail to go into that 4-pin bracket. So two of those are going to be my license plate light. The other two are going to be for the turn signals. So I will, and then I took this, because this used to be mounted. Let's see if I can. This used to be mounted like this. So you had this piece here. Get over here where you can see better. Keep forgetting I can always turn the camera later, but anyway. So yeah, so those were on there like that. So I just took some tin snips and I just trimmed this down into a little triangle. So it'll still go up underneath there, so I can still use it for my my license plate bracket. So basically that's all this is going to be now, is my license plate bracket. These two and all this wiring is going to go away. And now with this pigtail, all I got to do is hook in the tail light and the turn signals and the license plate light into this, and then plug it back into that plug that's already there. So turned out way simpler than I thought it was going to be. So just wanted to share that. So I'm going to start putting in the tail light here in just a minute. All right, so I decided, I was trying to think, I think I'm gonna try putting this on first before I put the tail light back in, because the last time I did this, trying to get this long screw through here, up in, all the way up to here, when you can't see, because it screws into the back of the frame right here. And so when the taillight's in there, you can't see what you're doing. You're just having to use. I was used like last time. I used an Allen wrench to like try to like feel my way up in there. So I think I'm gonna do it first. That way, I don't have to deal with that, or at least get it started, and then I'll go from there. So I use my long ass one. It's got blue Loctite on it still, so I don't think it needs any more. Because see, now this time I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, that's fine. I just need to get it started. Because then I gotta feed the wires for the. Yeah, this was a pain in the butt last time I did this. Because you literally can't see what you're doing, so you're like just feeling around. Alright, I got that started. So now I'm gonna take my license plate bracket, because these need to go up through this hole, but it kind of, there's like a dip in the this mount so that you can get the wiring around it. So put those up in there. Feed it up a little bit. And I think we can just leave it like that for right now, as long as it's through the hole, because basically I just want, see, you got room to feed it even after. So as long as I don't tighten everything down first, I'll be able to run that in there. So now the fun part is getting these little bolts back on these through. So these are kind of a pain in the butt, just because they're really hard to get to on the inside. It might be a little easier with the. I don't think it's going to really matter. That, oh yeah, that's going to make way easier. Because with this out of the way, so if you ever do this and you want to make it easier on yourself, you can. You move this part, I mean, it's like 6 or 8 more bolts, but then when you feed this up in, you can actually pretty much reach down in there. The mouth, it's the mechanic's third hand. Yeah, this is way easier because now those are out of the way, so I can just reach down in there and thread it on. Started. The same thing. Yeah, see, because it always wants to swing down underneath. You want this up on the side over here, so that there's a little washer that's inside the frame too, or like a plate. So you gotta thread that through there, and then put the washer on, put your bolt back on. The other one is so nice and easy. There we go. Alright, so that's an 8mm. Oh, I don't think I have a wrench that goes that small. It's the smallest of that. Because I noticed when I was putting these in that it didn't, it wasn't like super tight, so I'm gonna try to tighten it down a little bit tighter this time. Because I mean that's in the tail, so you know it's bouncing around quite a bit. So back yet.
Something right here. That's very nice.
It's not, because those nuts are so long, or the bolts are so long that it's not letting me. Just make sure that's still loose. It's not letting me like completely tighten those down, so I'm gonna have to. Like that. I mean, not that it has to be like super tight, but. Long nose pliers here. So I'll just use a hold on this side. Screw it in this side. Too tight because they're super small and the super fine thread, so it's not too hard to strip stuff out when it's that small and the threads are that fine. Just wanted it tighter than it was last time. There we go. That works. Now I'm just gonna finish tightening up this front one, and then I can put these bolts back in. Yeah, see, I can still move that around as needed. I think it's best right there. Yeah. So we do it like that. I guess I can go ahead and put those in just so it's not hanging off the bolts. Hanging off the wires. That's good. Alright, now I'm going to tighten these up. So they don't have to be super tight. So now I just got to wait for my full plate to come in, and then I will swap that out with the. Take this. I'm just keeping the frame on there just so that it helps, because it's just paper, like plastic covered paper or whatever, so keeping it on there just for that. All right, so now we gotta figure out putting our light in. Let's see. Okay, so I think I need to pull the grommets out, that old one. I didn't see that before. These things right here that are in the taillight, need to pull those out and reinstall those rubber grommets in the new one. So, pop those out real quick. Starting to get quite a collection of takeoff parts. All the different projects and stuff I've done. So, put these grommets in here. Go. Just pull on it and make sure that it's all completely through. Got one down. Got to learn how to fast forward when I'm editing, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of this stuff that I just will fast forward on because nobody wants to see like screw or something like that. Anyway, enough talking to myself. Take the end off. So let's see. I think found some other stuff that so they're like those metal clips, I think. These 3 little metal clips on the back, 1, 2, 3. Those have to come off and go on the new one, because that's where some of the stuff screws in. If I remember correctly, you just gotta. Go. And I'm just gonna set this over here for right now, because I don't feel. Now that I do that, I won't need it again. But now that I've went and picked it up like 3 times, I don't feel like doing it again. So now I'm just going to slide this on. So it only goes on one way because there's like a flat piece right this that it won't slip over. So you gotta put it in from this end, and you just push it in and. I did it right. Hey, what do you know? Oh, shit. Make sure the little clips line up with the holes. All right, so basically, looks like the only thing, like mainly what holds your tank, or your tail light. I mean, they both start with T at least. But the only thing that holds your tail light, the thing that holds your tail light in, not the only thing, but is these 2 and then these 2. Did those actually get? Because I know these 2 are the ones that we put in. I don't think these do. So these 2 hold it into the frame, and then these 3 hold it in from the top. So. All right. Metal piece inside the grommet. Yeah, so this has got a lip. It's got to go kind of, this part needs to go under it all the way across. So make sure we're getting that done. Pinching the wires here. Actually, I think I can. I don't think I like that as much. I think I'm going to try to see if I can sneak it up through here. I'm like wrapping the wires around like that. I feel like they're going to get pinched or rubbed or whatever. So. Nope, it isn't. So that would explain why it was around this way. I'm still gonna run these ones over there. So I just like that really for those ones. And this one's gotta run around the back. Okay. All right, well, I'm struggling with this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pause the video. So I'm gonna put these 2 bolts in here and then start, well, I'm actually not gonna reattach anything yet. I'm gonna get my wiring figured out first test everything. I'll turn it back on when I get ready to do that, when I get all the wiring plugged in, and then we'll test it and make sure everything's working right. So, got the wiring all put back together. It was pretty much plug and play. Only on these wires right here, I don't know if you can see, these wires right here, that harness just plugs into the regular plug, the white plug that I showed earlier. And then these wires, they all just plugged right in. The only difference, I had to replace one of this black wire had a female plug on it, and I needed a male, so luckily I had a kit, so I just swapped that out real quick. So I got it all plugged in, got everything tucked away. Now I just want to test everything and make sure that it's working. So let's turn it on. All right, so we have tail light, we have brake lights. And now let's turn signals. Right turn signal, off. Left turn signal, or right, whatever. Yep, it's working. Alright, turn it off. And we're back to taillight. Alright. Looks pretty damn good. And I got my license plate light on there, so we're all legal. And alright, so now I'm just gonna start buttoning all this back up, put all the pieces that I showed taking off. So the next step I'll do is once I get everything back on, I'll clean everything up, and then I'll do an ending here and show you what it looks like when everything's back together. All right, folks, there you got it. I think it looks really clean. So smoked taillight blends in really good. No turn signals sticking off. Got my license plate. Pretty soon that the left side passenger pig will be gone. And then this one's I'm gonna get rid of this side, and it'll just be a small, slim hanger that comes down to when I put my new pipe on. So there you have it though. That's the JL Designs smoked taillight and integrated turn signal. And then the mount that I'm using, that I modified and I'm using for my license plate light, is New Rage. I mean, I don't know if there's a cheaper option to do for that, but I had already done it, and so I figured I'd just modify what was already there, and I love how it turned out. So, but anyway, I'll have links for everything that I used in this video down in the description. So, you know, if you want to use the same setup or whatever, just look down there. But thanks for watching. Hopefully this helped you out. And yeah, stay tuned. I'm going to be doing more on this bike, and got a lot of plans coming up for it. So stay tuned, and I will catch you on the next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, tell me what you like, what you don't like.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps out the channel and keeps you updated on all our latest content. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our new uploads. We've got a lot more exciting content coming your way that you definitely won't want to miss. Also, if you have any thoughts or questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. We love hearing from you, and we'll do our best to respond to everyone. Finally, be sure to follow us on our social media channels for more behind-the-scenes content and updates. You can find all the links in the description below. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.